The 10 rules of engagement is based on years of research on some of the best practices that some of my colleagues and I have observed, studied, and researched on how do we engage these kids. The whole idea of this new generation of students that have grown up with technology, they've been labeled the lost generation. And the lost generation because their minds are working 100 miles an hour, and as adults we've allowed them to grow with technology, but they forgot the art of sitting and listening and being able to have interpersonal communication skills. A TV program geared towards this generation will have 95 flips or transitions pop up in 1 minute to maintain their interest. Now think how challenging that becomes in the classroom when you have kids that expect you to do cartwheels, backflips, handstands, explode, and then teach them something. And really what they want is edutainment. They want you to entertain them with your lesson. Engagement with these kids. Now, rule number 1 is I truly believe it begins with a smile at the door. And I'm not talking one of those smiles of, hey, you look good, standing there like, hey, we're glad you're here, come on in, we're really excited to be here. We're talking a maxi-facial smile. I'm talking a smile where your lips force your cheek above your cheek plane, your teeth pop out, and the right cortex of your brain floods your body full of dopamine that says, woohoo, it's happy hour time. We're talking that type of smile that is engaging. They come from broken families. They come from dysfunctional homes. They come from poverty. And a lot of times the school is their safe haven. And I hear teachers say, well, it's not as fun and as exciting as it was in the years past because of changes. Well, here's the thing. No matter what's happening outside in the world, your classroom is still in your control. It's your sphere of influence. And if you create a positive environment with these kids, it starts the minute they walk in. Children want to be around people that make them feel good. All right, the second rule, arranging the classroom for interaction. Meaning that arrange the entire classroom so that there's constant change and interaction going on in the classroom. So tables are sitting now where kids are looking at each other. When we talk about arrangement of the rooms, semicircle, U-shaped type classrooms, anywhere that students can see the faces of another student actually creates more engagement. We suggest that when you give different lessons, have different sections. If you're in the computer part, have the kids sit over there in the computer lab, and then when you come back to give them instructions, pull them back into another part of the room. Whether they're sitting on the floor or standing, constantly change it up, but make it so that there's room for interaction in the classroom. Number 3, talking the minute they walk in the door, you're smiling at them, and then you're giving them an action plan. So go sit down, pull out your homework, I want you to read through it one more time. Or sit down at your desk, I want you to read the quote of the day on the wall. You're giving them something of action and you're conditioning them to work. Students thrive in a structured environment. The next one is delivering your lessons with enthusiasm. I believe that as we move forward with technology, and a lot of emphasis is on bringing technology in the classroom, and I think it's awesome, but you still have to have teachers that can stand and deliver. You have to have teachers that can present content in a way that gets the students involved. Students and human beings only listen for about 15 seconds. And after 15 seconds, their minds go into la la land. Go. But here's an example. Everyone put their hand up like this. I want you to form a guns up. I want you to form a circle. Guns up, circle, guns up, circle. I'm going to get a little faster. Guns up, circle, guns up, circle. Put that circle right here underneath your chin. That's your forehead. That's your forehead. Some of you are still like, now what do you want me to do, right? Here's the other kicker. You only listen to 7% of the words, meaning that all the time you spend preparing your lesson on how you're going to say it only counts 7% of the delivery. 38% is those students, and you sitting here, you're listening to my tone of voice. 55% is your body language. in what we hear. So 7% your words, 38% your tone of voice, and 55% is your body language. Number 5, I told you that you still need a teacher that can stand and deliver. Technology should only play a role 55% of the time in the classroom. That's it. We have gotten so dependent that we think everything should be on PowerPoint. We've all heard the saying that PowerPoint has killed education. Now we have multimedia. We have these tools now so teachers don't have to teach. This is nothing more than supporting material. When you present your content to your students, you have to present it, like I said, with enthusiasm. Technology is 55%. Visual aids, your body language, it all plays a major role. Number 6 is facilitated teaching. Facilitated teaching is based on the idea that you should only be talking 20% of the time in the classroom, which means that your students should be involved in conversation 80% of the entire class period. It's hard for people to understand, and you're not going to be able to start the school year out with that type of effectiveness right from the get-go, but it's something that you should strive to achieve. Number 7 is deliver all your instructions using NLP or matching verbal patterns. It's basically audio, visual, kinesthetic type listeners. The whole point of this is to make sure that when you give instructions that you use all 3. Write it, have the instructions on the board, say it to the students, have them start working on it, and then say it to them again, and then have them look at it again. Because they give instructions specifically to the students using their brain functions. And this is something that's new and emerging. This is based on brain plasticity. Number 9 is have savvy goals and lessons established. How many of you start out every class period with a goal in mind for those that teach? Yes. You might think your students sitting in your classroom are all going in the right direction. But the reality is, if I don't know exactly how to draw those triangles, if I don't know exactly have a goal in mind, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give about 10% of my potential. Every class period needs a goal. And what that does is it helps create what we call a flow environment, where you transcend time. All right, and the last one, rule number 10, is change it up. Change is good. Us adults don't like it. Students thrive in a changing environment. Sure, once you think you got it figured out, change it up again. Keep adding new things, change up the seating, change up where you're teaching in the room, change up your delivery style, make it so things are never the same, and you'll always keep your classroom exciting and refreshing where these kids come in wondering what to expect. And when you do all 10 of these things, and you put a smile on your face, and you're happy and you're excited to be there, you will connect, and these kids will be engaged, and they'll work to the end when that bell rings with that same excitement that you guys did with the triangles.